is up, everybody? Welcome to Birds and Swords, presented by The Barn. I'm Micah. She's Alyssa.
Hi.
There she is. And this is our 2024 year-end wrap.
Woohoo!
This is our third one.
Oh my gosh.
The third year we've tied a bow on. Can you believe that?
No. I feel like we just started this podcast a few months ago.
I know. It's just this summer, right? Or
Right.
this spring. So we're happy to be here for another year and celebrate another year of gaming, which was 2024. I feel like we're going to get to some of our personal opinions kind of towards the back end. But I think we both feel like we played less this year than maybe ever.
Yeah.
I don't know. I still played plenty, and definitely more than the average person.
Yeah, me too.
I feel like I played maybe a little less, but there were some fantastic games. The year the year was actually loaded with really, really good games. It just felt like it wasn't as newsworthy or something, or maybe I'm just not following it as closely.
I feel like I haven't played a lot of the games that are on these lists that the awards were awarded to.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, I have played some of them, but I guess I'm not really a day one gamer either. So
Yeah, you're definitely not.
Yeah.
Like it's got to be. What's the last game that you played? Within its launch window, like
I
within a
think
couple
Rebirth
weeks.
is probably the closest. That wasn't within a couple weeks though. That was just within the year.
Yeah, you are like that.
Yeah.
But I still had a lot of fun gaming this year. We played some games together this year that was fun, had some hangouts and stuff. So really, really fun. We'll get to our personal stuff a little later. But I don't think we've ever really dove into the Game Awards before. I think we've mentioned it kind of in passing. We both watched the full show. You watched it live almost on accident. It seemed like you didn't know it was on. You're like, I'll be damned.
Yeah, I was scrolling on Facebook while I was watching TV, I was gaming. I was playing The Witcher 3 actually.
Okay.
And I was scrolling on Facebook and I saw that it was on, and yeah, I was like, oh, I knew it was coming, but I always just
I was the same way. You texted me, you're like, holy shit, are you watching the Game Awards? And I had already committed to football, and I
love the voice you gave me.
I ended up, yeah, that is you. Are you doing it? It's your bird voice.
Yeah, that's what I sound like at home when I'm in my bird form. So,
yeah. What is your bird voice?
My bird voice?
Pretend I'm Laszlo.
Oh, I love you so much, little baby Laszlo.
Okay, yeah. Pretty much how humans talk to animals.
Yeah.
We've got to treat them like they're like an infant. Anyway, you started watching and you texted me. So how far into the show did you pick up on it? Did you watch from the very beginning?
I came in a little late, but I rewound it to the official start. You know how they do the pregame show for the smaller stuff?
Yeah.
I came in and started it at the official show with the big awards and announcements.
That's when I started watching it too, because I just watched the stream on YouTube.
Yeah, that's where I watched it.
So the game, I ended up watching them later on YouTube. So they are the Game Awards. I remember, and this was 10th anniversary, so I wanted to mention that. It's been 10 years for the Game Awards, at least in this current state, I guess.
Yeah.
They used to be called the VGAs, which is the Video Game Awards. I was going to go back and check why that's changed, but I didn't. So it's changed production companies or whatever, I suppose. So 10th anniversary, Jeff Keighley, who's been gaming journalism forever, at least all of my time, hosted the event. I thought he did a really good job.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like he's a try to be funny guy, but he's real easy to watch, kind of like Jason Sudeikis. Some people are just a real comfortable watch, and he is that guy. And I thought he did a really good job. The dude loves video games, and he appreciates all that goes into them. I thought he did a great job giving everybody equal toe, whether it was smaller stuff that he read off, how you would read off, here's some other awards that we might have missed, and he gets 3 or 4 in a row. And he even got emotional at the end.
Yeah.
Which we'll get to that, because I believe that was the Okami announcement that he almost broke down. So you can tell that meant a lot to him. So we'll get to that. 10th anniversary of the show. I've seen a lot of these. So I wanted to ask you, how many of these have you watched in full? Because you were really stoked.
I think I got really into it probably 3 or 4 years ago. Okay. And then last year really solidified it for me, because it was through the Game Awards last year that I found Baldur's Gate 3. I mean, obviously I knew about it, but seeing it win all the awards was the reason that I wanted it. So that for me was this is real. They're actually putting a lot of thought into these games and the awards, and there's reasoning behind them. and it's not just geared towards one type of audience. And I am someone that plays a lot of different types of games. So I think last year really solidified it. But it was probably 3 or 4 years ago that it was the year that Final Fantasy VII Remake was announced. Was the first year I watched it all the way through.
That might have been like 5 years ago.
Yeah.
It's changed a little, I guess, because, and especially it's interesting that you mentioned 3 or 4 years ago, because that's basically when E3 stopped.
Yeah.
Because the Game Awards has taken a lot of what E3 did, because the awards show now is like 75% reveals and trailers and first looks and announcements. It's a lot of that, which I love.
Yes.
And they still pay due respect to the awards, but since E3 stopped really being a thing and everybody's kind of doing their own thing online, Nintendo Directs and all that with their announcements, the Game Awards has kind of taken that over, so you get these big blockbuster moments.
Yeah.
And something else that I noticed, overall, and why I asked you how many you'd seen, overall, I thought the show was really, really good, but it didn't like blow me away. I think some of the other years, because they had like console releases, or you got brand new. Of course, we got a really big brand new IP that we'll get to, but I thought it was really, really good. But there were only like a couple times where I was like floored by something instead of just being like, holy shit, holy shit, holy shit, holy shit.
Yeah, I think for me it was a lot in the beginning. They did a lot of drops for announcements that I was really excited about, and then after that it just kind of fell off a little bit for me. But I still really enjoyed seeing the awards themselves. Yeah. But I would totally agree with that.
And it got pretty weeb in the middle, which is okay, because I'm a nerd like that. But I did see some comments online. People got lost in the middle because there were a lot of JRPGs announced and turn-based stuff and Japanese girls' boobs. And,
no complaints here.
All that kind of stuff. So let's get into... We'll kind of split this up, I guess. I want to talk about some appearances that we saw, but let's talk about the actual awards first. We'll talk about Game of the Year last, I guess, but I thought it was interesting that 4 Game of the Year nominees were developed in Japan, and China had its first ever homeland developed game nominated for Game of the Year, which was Black Myth Wukong, which you played. So the diversity is really good. We mentioned I mentioned the trailers and the announcements. I thought it was interesting that they muted the audience during all reveals. Did you notice that? Because usually there's some kind of, you see, they opened with The Witcher, and you see Siri for the first time like halfway through that trailer. Yeah. That's where there's usually an audience gasp or some cheering. I didn't even catch hell that. Yeah. They like muted all that, which I thought took out some of the immersion of the show. Anyway, so let's get into the awards. First of all, I forgot what they were. I forgot who they were delivering the award to. But Harrison Ford made an appearance towards the beginning. Mm-hmm. They were promoting Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, which I definitely want to play. Apparently, it's amazing. But I made sure I took a note that, boy, Harrison Ford sure is looking old.
That is so funny you say that, because when he walked on stage, I turned to Zach and I said, "He's aging."
I know, finally.
Oh my gosh, yes. It's sad.
I don't know how old he really is. I think he's in his 70s, or at least that sounds right to me, because a lot of his popularity was like in the 80s. That was 40 years ago.
And he still looks amazing. It's just hard to see someone that you grew up watching on screen, like age.
Yeah. And he almost didn't seem like himself either. But people get old,
Yeah, so right.
I thought he was looking old. So what awards what do you want to start out with? What's important to you?
Yeah, we had Best Game Direction. So nominated was Balatro, which was that card game.
Dude, Balatro cleaned up at the award show.
And I had never even heard of it till the award show.
And that's a one-guy game. One guy made that game, and it got nominated for Game of the Year too. So that's another interesting fact for Game of the Year nominees. Yeah, Balatro is a card game that's been super, super addictive. It's risen in popularity with the Steam Deck because it's really good handheld. A lot of people have Steam Decks.
You can play it on the phone too.
Yeah, Switch, stuff like that.
We also had Black Myth Wukong, which I have started playing and I love it. I'm really bad at it, so I'm not very far. And we had Elden Ring, Shadow of the Erdtree. Is that how you say it?
Yeah, it's an expansion. Yep.
Yeah. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth and Metaphor, which I also want to play because you mentioned.
Mm-hmm. It's an Atlas game.
Yeah. So, and then of course Astrobot, which won.
Yep.
So I thought that was I had never played Astrobot, and boy, did they!
Have you still not played the Playroom or whatever?
No.
I think it's pre-installed on the PS5.
It is.
Play that. It's not too long, but you'll be like, whoa.
Yeah.
Because I remember when we all played that originally, we were like, well, when's the game coming out? And now it finally does. It crushes everything. Game direction's pretty important, especially to us.
Yeah.
So you see some of those really well-built games, narrative gameplay, kind of all in one.
We had audio design with Astrobot, Call of Duty Black Ops 6, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Silent Hill 2, but who won was Senua's Saga, Hellblade 2.
Yeah, that's been really popular. It has really good voice acting, too.
Did they win the audio for whatever year it came out for the first one? Because I remember being blown away by, because if you wear a headset when you play the first one, it's truly immersive.
Yeah. It's a big part of their production. Deserved win. Yeah. Audio's, that's a big deal, especially more people use headsets now than ever, probably.
Best performance, we had actors from Life is Strange, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Star Wars Outlaws, Silent Hill 2. Hellblade 2 took that as well. That was Melina Jorgens.
Yeah, and she did the first one, obviously, and a lot of stuff in between.
Didn't she again? And what am I thinking of? They won something. Hellblade 2 won something.
No, I think she won.
Yeah, specifically.
For best performance by an actor for that game as well.
Yeah.
Another interesting fact about that category, or that award, is there were 5 nominees for best performance by an actor, and 4 of them were women.
That's incredible. I didn't even notice that. That is really incredible. Silent Hill 2 was the only man, huh?
Yep.
Nice.
Yep.
Yeah, that's incredible. Innovation in accessibility, Black Ops 6, Diablo 4, Dragon Age, Veilguard, Star Wars Outlaws, and who won was Prince of Persia, The Lost Crown. Which,
I don't know what kind of...
is it a sequel or...
it's like a reimagining.
Okay.
Is kind of where I'd put that. It's not a direct remake, but it's got a lot of the same stuff in it.
We love accessibility in games. I think it's really important.
Yeah, and more of a focus now than ever. Yeah. I think Last of Us won it the year it came out because it's got tons of accessibility stuff you can do with visual markers or sound, or you can see arcs, depending on if you can't see as well or if you can't hear as well.
Yeah.
There's tons of options.
I love to see that. All right, best ongoing game, Destiny 2, Diablo 4, Final Fantasy 14, Fortnite, and the winner was Helldivers 2.
Nice. Yeah, that was super popular. I can't believe when Final Fantasy 14 start being an ongoing thing.
Well, 14 was, because that's the online one, so they have a ton of expansions, so a while ago. It's been ongoing for years.
Yeah, that's just incredible because I feel like it launched in like 2017 or something.
Yeah, it
gets nominated for something 8 years later.
It's crazy, and I feel like the game just keeps growing. I personally stopped playing it, but MMOs are hard for me to stay into. Overall, I was really enjoying the game.
Helldivers definitely. I think I played some kind of trial or something, but that became like the new buddy game kind of on your online co-op with your friends and stuff.
TikTok.
Yeah, hitting that popularity. So another deserved win, I would say.
Best community support: Final Fantasy 14, Fortnite, Helldivers 2, No Man's Sky, but Baldur's Gate 3 took the win.
Hey,
yeah.
That's Alyssa's favorite game.
Woohoo!
What year did it... I guess it came out this year.
Baldur's Gate 3?
Yeah.
It came out last year, because it won Game of the Year last year.
Okay.
So I don't know...
Yeah, just community support. I get that. People are still playing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of support in the community for that game. Yeah. I feel like I need like a group therapy for that game.
Yeah. Well, it could be a lot that could be under fire, so rallying around it.
Best indie game: Animal Well, Laurel Ellie and the Laser Eyes, Neva again, UFO 50, but the winner was Balatro. That freaking card game. Animal Well I've heard about, and I actually have some gameplay.
I would see you playing that for sure. I mean, I would play it too, but I see you playing it more.
It's like a puzzly, spooky, creepy game, so definitely up my alley. Best debut indie game: Animal Well, Manor Lords, Pacific Drive, The Plucky Squire, but Balatro won that as well.
Balatro just won everything.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy. Like a card game for your phone. It's so cool to see.
Yeah, it's like crack.
It reminds me of like Among Us, how it just went the floor that one year, and it was just these college kids that made an app.
Yeah.
Yep. Best mobile game: AFK Journey, Pokemon Trading Card, Wuthering Waves, Zenless Zone Zero. Balatro took the win.
Balatro again.
Balatro again. All right, best action game: we had Warhammer 40,000, Space Marine 2, Stellar Blade 2, Helldivers 2, Black Ops 6, Black Myth Wukong took the win.
I remember, excuse me, I remember watching this when they did this, did the nominations. They show like the little sizzle reels of each game, and it was just pummeling after pummeling after pummeling after like this game and in this game. Yeah. And it's just all this overpowering shit.
It was awesome.
I love video games.
I loved the comment that the developers made when they got on stage, too, because they took a lot of heat for invisible walls in the game, which is fair because there's a lot. And there is a lot for a game that's out in 2024.
Yeah.
And when he got up there, he's like, thanks for not putting any invisible walls on my way up. And he made a little joke. So cute.
Yeah, you got to be able to make fun of yourself. That helps.
Yep. And I love that he said it's not a hard game because it's hard.
Yeah. Have you played any Warhammer games?
No.
Okay. That's a lot of smashing and pounding.
Yeah,
good times.
I've seen gameplay of it.
Yeah, that series has been around forever.
Action adventure: Legend of Zelda: Echoes of Wisdom, Star Wars Outlaws, Silent Hill 2, Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown. Astrobot took the winner.
Yeah.
Which is so unlike the other games that were nominated. I guess Zelda could kind of fall into that cutesy.
Yeah. Can you jump around? And are there enemies?
Right.
And that's basically an action adventure game, I guess.
Best RPG, Dragon's Dogma 2, Elden Ring, Shadow of the Erdtree, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Like a Dragon, Infinite Wealth, Metaphor 1.
Metaphor.
Yeah.
I need to play that really bad.
It's on my Christmas list, so.
You're getting it soon?
I hope
for
so.
Switch?
I have it for the PS5.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you play your Switch anymore?
I do sometimes.
Is there a reason why I went so high there at the end? I was like, do you even play your Switch anymore? I'm losing it. This is what happens when we record during the daylight.
I feel like I'm crazy. I do play it sometimes. I lost my charger for a while, but I found it. Zach was using it for his iPad, I found out.
Oh, yeah.
No, I found it.
Got it.
Best fighting game. I know a lot of people are always really excited for this one. I don't really play a lot of fighting games, but Grand Blue Fantasy vs. Rising, Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, Marvel vs. Capcom Fighting Collection Arcade Classics, Multiverses. The winner was Tekken 8.
Tekken 8, yeah, new Tekken. People wait forever for Tekken.
And people love Tekken. Like,
oh, yeah.
The fan base, and there's so many tournaments. Like, I remember going to video game conventions, and there's always Tekken tournaments, like 4 of them.
Yeah, it's a real technical fighter. You have to be really, really good at it.
You have to know the combos. It's not a button masher. It's not like Dead or Alive where I can just hope for the best.
Yeah. Well, that's a genre that's never going away, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Fighting games.
Best family game. Princess Peach Showtime, Super Mario Party Jamboree, The Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom, The Plucky Squire, and our winner was Astrobot.
Astrobot again. What is the Plucky Squire?
I don't know.
It sounds like there's a bird in there.
Right. I'm picturing like a royal chicken.
Yeah. The Plucky Squire. With his little helmet.
Oh, that's so sword. Cute. Best sim or strategy game. We had Unicorn Overlord, which I have heard about. Manor Lords, Kunitsu Gami, Path of the Goddess, Age of Mythology Retold. Our winner was Frostpunk 2.
I haven't heard of that one. What was the first thing you said?
Unicorn Overlord.
Unicorn Overlord. Yeah, that's done by, I think that's an Atlas game too. It's just a different team. They did Dragon's Crown, Odin Sphere, Lethrosir. You need to play those games.
Okay. Zach plays more of the strategy games than I do.
Yeah. Well, those two are both like side scrollers.
Oh, okay.
But they're what do you call that? Metroidvanias, where you revisit areas and they have new areas because you unlocked something in another area. So you kind of revisit these like 8 areas. And then you play as like 4 different characters through 4 different stories. And I think Unicorn Overlord does the same thing, just expand. I think there's 7 characters. Really, really cool games, though.
Okay, yeah.
Side-scrolling action game. Lots of RPG, leveling up, and all that good stuff. Yep.
Best sports or racing game. We had F1 24, NBA 2K25, Top Spin 2K25, WWE 2K24. And our winner, was EA Sports FC 25.
Football club, that's soccer.
That's soccer?
Yeah.
Okay. Yep. I don't know anything about that. WWE, I feel like is wrestling.
Yeah, the whole FIFA thing, like, fell apart, like, politically and whatever. Like, doesn't exist anymore. I don't know a ton about it, but I know it doesn't exist anymore. So that's basically, the winner is basically FIFA.
Oh, so when that took over?
It's just called something different.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's exciting for them.
It's still the FIFA series. Yeah.
Best multiplayer game. Warhammer 40K, Space Marine 2, Tekken 8, Super Mario Party Jamboree, Call of Duty Black Ops 6, with our winner of Helldivers 2.
Helldivers makes
which
sense.
Which is not surprising. I am a little surprised. I feel like Mario Party wins a lot. But I feel like maybe we're growing a little tired of it.
Well, was there a Mario Party that came out this year?
It was the Jamboree. It was
right. Yeah, you said that.
Yeah.
Have you played that?
No.
I haven't played it either.
Usually I play the new Mario Party right when it comes out, but I just...
And it's a full Mario Party? It's not like some offshoot?
So. Yeah, I guess
weird
so.
minigame thing or something?
But my issue with Mario Party has been, like, they've just not been releasing a lot of content on the Mario Party games. Like, give me a ton of boards and a ton of characters. They can be the same boards we had in other games, but stop releasing...
Yeah, do the same thing that they did with Mario Kart.
Yeah.
Because they released, like, 4... Of course, you could buy, like, a season pass, but they released, for, like, 4 tracks at a time.
Yeah.
And some characters later and stuff.
Right. Yeah, I feel
they
like
could do that with Mario
each
Party.
Mario Party has like 4 boards you can play and like 8 characters, and they're different per game. So I don't know if this is the same, but I didn't pick it up, so it didn't win anyway.
Yeah.
Best adaptation I thought was really interesting. So we had Tomb Raider, The Legend of Lara Croft, Like a Dragon, Yakuza, Knuckles, Arcane, and our winner was Fallout.
Fallout. So yeah, this
deserving.
So these television show adaptations. Yeah.
Very deserving.
Yeah. Yeah.
A lot of people who love Arcane felt robbed, but they won last year, right?
I think so.
Arcane won last year, and so I feel like Fallout, it's fresh, it's new, and it was so good.
And it was good.
It was just so well deserving. I haven't seen Arcane, so I can't really vouch one way or another about that, but I really loved Fallout.
I just hope because our second season coming, we're producing it now. I hope it's not too soon.
Right. Take your time, make it good.
But if you think about shows like we were talking about Lost, they had a full 20 episodes once a year.
Yeah. So
it's not like they were waiting 2 or 3 years and it was still good.
Most anticipated game, I guess, before they even had the nominees, what this was. So we have Death Stranding 2 on the Beach, Ghost of Yote, Metroid Prime 4 Beyond, Monster Hunter Wild, and the super obvious no shit winner is Grand Theft Auto 6.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously, I see it all over the internet. It's a running joke now. We got this before Grand Theft Auto 6. Like,
well, it's been
a while.
PS3 era.
Yeah.
2000.
And they milked 5. I mean, they milked 5.
Yeah.
Because they kept re-releasing it, all this online stuff. I mean, they're still making money off that game.
So you're not excited for it?
I am so excited. It's just not like a Kingdom Hearts situation with me where I'm like, I need it right now. Like, once it comes out, I'll get it and I'll enjoy it.
Yeah, it is going to be insane. Because they're always so good. Each Grand Theft Auto. What was the big thing with 5? Oh, you zoom in on whatever they were doing at the time.
Characters.
Yeah.
Was it you that told me the theory that there was supposed to be a 4th character?
I don't think so.
Because if you look at the bottom where it shows the 3 characters, there's like an empty slot underneath them. It almost looks like they maybe planned to have another one, or maybe like a DLC release or something, but never happened. I wonder how accurate that is.
I just wonder what the holy shit type of stuff is going to be in there, because it's not necessarily like tech related. I don't know. I remember the big thing with 5 was you could go out to the map, change characters, and it would zoom in on whatever they were doing.
And it was something so unhinged every time.
It'd be like lifting weights or
Trevor's in a mountain in a dress, passed out drunk.
Yeah. Like that was the big thing. So I wonder what kind of stuff like that we'll see.
I don't know how they're going to top that, honestly.
It's going to be awesome.
Content creator of the year, there was a bunch of them, but Queso was the winner.
I didn't know any of those. I was like, who is he talking about?
Queso, I think I only know just from like TikTok.
Perspective.
Yeah, like just
consumption.
There's just like some TikTok snippets that I've seen of him. He's like a really humble guy. He's really sweet.
Okay, so he deserved it.
Yeah, and I watched because he was at home when he got the nomination, and he was like live streaming, and he called his mom, and he's like, "Mom, I won." It was so sweet. So it just like seems like a good one to go to. You know?
Yeah.
So congratulations, Queso. My bird's name is Queso.
Oh, hey. Yeah,
so Queso won. Yeah, he's been working hard streaming with his little fellas. That leaves us with
Game of the Year. What is a Game of the Year.
Game of the Year. All right. So, I mean, our nominees are going to be no surprise based off the other awards and nominations that they had. Metaphor got up there. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Elden Ring Shadow of Erdtree. Black Myth Wukong, Balatro, and our winner took a lot of people by surprise, but I think it was well deserved. Astrobot.
Astrobot again.
Yeah.
That little robot, that little PlayStation robot. PlayStation exclusives continue to dominate as well. Is another takeaway for sure. They did they do anything no, they did the Game of the Year like right at the end. There wasn't anything after it, was there?
Yeah, I turned it off after that. So if they did anything, I don't know.
There was some going away message. Well, I feel like whatever the last reveal they did, the last reveal was Naughty Dog. I feel like he said this is the final reveal. So once I saw the Game of the Year awarded, I kind of bolted.
Yeah.
Any takeaways from the speeches?
Yes. I think that I was very not surprised, but intrigued by how much they talked about the industry this year. Yep. In general, talking about the challenges and how they want to make things right and go back to how it should be. There's even some digs that were made. The guy that made It Takes Two, when he got up there and said, we don't do microtransactions and loot boxes and DLC. You get the game and you share it with a friend. I mean, it's not necessarily a dig, but it is kind of pointing fingers at these developers that are taking advantage of the gamers.
Yeah, we listen to what people want.
Right. So there's a lot of comments on like, we're going to go back to our roots and we're going to make games for the consumers again. It was a lot of recognition for how much the industry has changed. And I think that gave me a lot of hope. There was a lot of positivity in a time that's not as positive for this industry. I thought most people handled it well. Yeah.
A lot of it was just kind of straight up stuff that you would normally hear. But I think you're right. That's kind of the theme I took away, was kind of supporting the fans and each other with positivity, and then, some industry stuff.
Yeah.
But good overall. I tell you, I didn't watch most of the performances, even though I love music. I would like start it and then be like, okay, I get it. And then I skip through the rest of it.
That's fair.
Snoop Dogg.
I watched Snoop Dogg.
Snoop Dogg is everywhere.
Yeah.
Including the Game Awards. And
he's always on a side quest.
I did watch that, and it was cool. He owns Death Row Games anyway, or co-owns, however that goes. So he's kind of got his foot in the industry anyway. So we got Snoop Dogg. What other celebrities do we have? We had some presenters. We had, I forget her name, Ellie from The Last of Us.
Oh, yeah. They had both Ellies. They had the voice actor and the live action.
Yep. We had Aaron Paul from Breaking Bad.
Oh, yeah. That was really awkward, but they did their best.
Whatever bit they were doing was stupid.
It didn't work, but...
Didn't work. They announced a new game. We'll get to that. Trying to think of who else. I mean, there were a few more. There were a lot of industry celebrity, Troy Baker, people that we would know. And Kojima shows up every time.
He's so handsome.
I feel like his like persona is he's like this mysterious guy. You never know what he's working on, where he is, what he's doing. But he makes like every fucking public appearance possible.
Yeah.
Like he's always out there.
Yes. And he is like a bae. Like he's just
and he's always
so
happy.
Mysterious.
The only negative part about all of that is everything he does takes forever because he still can't speak any English except for whatever they tell him to present, the award to or something at the end. So he goes through a translator and it always takes forever.
Yeah. That is kind of amazing.
Dudes everywhere.
In general with the translators, you don't have this in a lot of other industries like Hollywood. Yeah, sure. Sometimes like movies will win big awards, but like a lot of these games come out of other countries and they don't speak English. So we're consuming this like this art from other cultures.
Yeah.
And there's so much of it. Like how many places other than the Game Awards are you going to have these translators for Japanese, Chinese, French, or whatever? There was another one. I don't know. But it's just like so culturally rich in the gaming industry.
Yes.
And I think that's so cool.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, cool. So let's take a break. We're going to come back and talk about all the reveals because there was some juicy stuff. This was the best part of the show for sure. We'll be right back. Talk about that.
Hey, Birds and Swords listeners. Zach here from Healthy Hemp Gear. We strive to bring you sustainable and local goods from trusted sources. Check out our site, healthyhempgear.com, to see our hemp apparel choices, as well as our home goods, and make sure to stay tuned in for new arrivals and local partners. While you're at it, use the promo code BNS, that's B&S, to save 15% off all your orders. Stop by today to check out apparel that appreciates the earth and you.
Welcome back to Birds and Swords 2024 year-end wrap. We're going to get into the reveals that we saw, but first, Alyssa has never heard the song I Want a Hippopotamus for Christmas. I played it earlier, and she's like, what is this?
I don't think I've heard it. And if I have, maybe
No, never?
Maybe I just repressed it. I don't like Christmas music.
Does your family...
What family?
My family... I don't think my family sits around and plays Christmas music. You just hear it. You just hear it.
Christmas Carol.
Just hear it in the store. Muppet Christmas Carol's very solid. Yeah. Respect.
That's probably all I can handle. I don't like Christmas music, so.
Well, that one, now you're going to hear it. You're going to be in the gas station or grocery store, and you're going to be like, there's that hippopotamus song.
And I've already been humming it all day since you showed me that song. So.
and you go, is this Shirley Temple?
It sounds like a little girl in Hollywood that's being exploited.
It sounds like it's in black and white.
Right, yeah.
Basically. Anyways, that's a fun tidbit. I kind of like that song. It's a fun one. Sweet. Okay, reveals. The first one we saw, do you remember what the first one was?
The first big one? Mm-hmm. Witcher 4. Right?
Witcher 4, yeah. First reveal of the night, The Witcher 4. Ciri revealed as the protagonist, or at least it looks that way. And what I thought was cool in that trailer, other than it being absolutely beautiful, was that she fights the same... I forget the name of the monster. I should have wrote it now. She fights the same monster that Geralt fights in the very opening scene of the first episode of the TV show, in the swamp.
Oh, yeah!
She fights the same beast in it. I don't know if that was on purpose or not, but... overall, I'm a huge Witcher fan. You actually just started playing Witcher 3.
I just started it, so this is great time.
This is great time. You were already playing it before the Game Awards, right? Okay.
Yeah.
So it wasn't because of the trailer.
No, it was $12 on Black Friday.
Beautiful, beautiful. I just can't wait because Witcher's so great. There's so many monsters and deep, creepy lore, and it's just...
And it looks beautiful. So dark and gloomy, but gorgeous.
Yeah. Yep. What was the controversy there? You want to talk about the controversy? Ciri didn't look
hot enough,
feminine enough, or something.
I mean, it's all over the internet, and I weren't because Zach and I watched the beginning of the awards together, and when it showed that, I was like, just wait, the discourse is going to be unreal. And there are people who are like, Ciri shouldn't be the protagonist. It's not like a woman thing. They're just like, I wanted someone new, someone fresh, new story. That's fine. But there's a lot of men that are upset that she's not hot enough. She looks too masculine. She looks too old. First of all, if I saw her on the street, I would panic. Yeah. Gay panic. I think she looks amazing.
Yeah, I thought it was great too. Yeah. I don't know. I think it was probably mostly because the age thing. Because Ciri usually shows up as younger, at least in the pieces of media that we've gotten so far, is that Ciri's 19,
Well, that's creepy of people, I'll say. If you want her to look young, Ron 19, then you need to check yourself. I'm just going to be honest.
Unless it's all those weeb games. They all look 14.
Well, I have opinions on that too.
Explain that.
I don't know. I have opinions on that too. Don't worry. Same opinions. But at least it's a lot more fake. Anime is a cartoon looking.
Yeah.
I'm going to get hate
an
for
exaggeration.
That. But yeah. Whereas, this is, she's aged and everybody's upset about that in, a realistic media style.
And she doesn't look that old. Late 20s, early 30s, maybe. I was thinking late 20s.
Scars of battle. I think she looks hot. Yeah. I would let her beat the shit out of me.
Plus, she's a Witcher. They look a little different. More gray hair, all that stuff.
There's people, online just complaining that a lot of the announcements are women-led protagonists. And and I'll go on a little tangent. Growing up, I played mostly games where the protagonist was a guy. And if the protagonist was a woman, she was hypersexualized, like Lara Croft. I didn't really mind. It didn't, bother me. I wasn't upset about it. But do you know how cool it is to play a game where the woman is just a woman, badass? Mm-hmm. She's not a piece of meat. It's not this crazy, it just feels good. It feels good for me, and I don't feel bad about it. I don't feel bad that you have to play as a woman for a couple of games. I don't.
Plus, I feel we're coming upon some sequels that you benefit some intrigue by doing that, because Ghost of Yotei is the same way,
right? So
you're kind of taking the same thing but showing the other side of it, the gender bender or whatever. I think most people, at least people that I like, are or enjoy that kind of thing.
Yeah, and it's really just like the keyboard trolls that are upset. I feel like all the people that I talk to in my circle that game, and I have a pretty big circle of gamers, everyone's really excited about Ciri being the protagonist. It's really just the online discourse. People that don't really go out and talk to girls. This is their girlfriend. Ciri is their girlfriend.
Yeah, they need to experience this narrative.
Yeah, so
she'll be a complete badass. I feel like she'll be more agile than Geralt, and who knows? Geralt, I forget what he said. He had a voice line in the trailer, like towards the end, so he'll be in the game somewhere.
They confirmed he'll be in the game.
Okay,
yeah.
So there you go. I don't know if it'll be some kind of split where you play as both, or she gets 2/3, or maybe there's even another character you play as because there are multiple Witchers, obviously.
So the article I read, what is it? CD Projekt Red is the group. They said that he is not playable, but he will be a large part of the story.
Oh, okay.
So that's what they released officially. I mean, that can always change too, but
okay, cool.
I think that's really cool.
Yeah, I didn't know that information was out there. Okay, well, cool. I'm fine with that.
I'm excited, and I'm really enjoying 3, and that was a PlayStation 3 original release. Mm-hmm. And it holds up really well, other than my 5 not handling it. But
you're shut down.
Yeah, my game shuts down after I play it too long, and I guess this is not common, but it's a problem that has happened to other people. It's just it didn't port well into the PlayStation 5, so it just trashes my system.
I played it on PS4, I think.
Yeah, so it's specifically the 5 that there's issues with, but if I only play it in 45-minute intervals, I'm safe.
Yeah.
But I'm really loving it. I love the lore. It's easy to understand, the politics of it. Skyrim was too much for me. I couldn't...
That's what I was trying to tell you. Everything is more interesting, because a lot of, medieval games or games that have, made-up areas and made-up creatures with hard to pronounce name, you just get lost, kind of.
Yeah.
And Witcher's the opposite of that somehow.
They do it so well. And they ease you into everything. They introduce you to each creature and beast one at a time.
And it's a really good bestiary, and I love a good bestiary in a game.
It's so cool. I mean, it's really... I'm loving it. I'm not far at all. I just got past the tutorial, but I'm loving it.
Having only experienced Henry Cavill, how do you feel about the voice actor?
For the video game? Mm-hmm. I think he's great. I actually think that Henry embodies him really well.
Yeah, I mean, he's the original.
Yeah.
Lots of grunts and...
Yeah, I think Henry embodies him really well. It's also really interesting because the next season of the show is coming out soon. People are suddenly saying they don't like The Witcher show, which for me, I say suddenly because when it came out, I feel like everyone loved it. And now I'm seeing everyone say, well, it sucks. And I'm like, when did this switch?
When did it change?
Yeah, so I don't know if it was just because the last season wasn't great.
It's all because of the Henry Cavill thing.
Yeah, well...
Everybody just lost respect for, everything.
Yeah.
Except for Henry.
And I totally agree. I'm not watching the next season.
No.
I'm not.
That first season's so awesome.
It's so good. And that's what got me wanting to play the game was the show.
Yeah. The game is so good. I'm so glad you're playing it. And Witcher 4 looks... I mean, we didn't see any gameplay, so you just get excited that it exists.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And it just... I'm excited. Yes, you're right.
So, yeah, they crushed with Witcher 4 from CD Projekt Red. Release date, who the hell knows? Hopefully 2025. I feel like we got a lot of that over the night. 2025.
Right. There were some that said 2020, period. But we don't know.
I did notice that. There were a couple that were like that. There was a untitled game from the creator, or I think it's just one of the guys from Team Eco that made Shadow of the Colossus and Eco.
Yeah. And Last Guardian.
Yep. And it looked very similar to all of those, and it was shown with no title, so we don't even know what to call it. But definitely on board and definitely interested. I know Last Guardian kind of flopped, but
yeah. Well,
and I know that it also took a long time for that game to come out, but we're still so far removed from that game coming out that they might have been working on this for a long, long time. So I would definitely give that guy, whoever's making it, I made a note to notice that it didn't say Team Eco. So I guess that doesn't exist anymore. But same creators behind those games.
I feel like they put a lot of faith into people wanting more. So when I say that, I mean they didn't show us much. It was just a little gameplay of what looked like
climbing like usual.
And I think that they need to understand that they need to win us back a little bit after Last Guardian. That was that was more than a flop. That was a huge disappointment.
Yeah.
It was when we did that list of most disappointing games, it was at the top of my list. And what do you say? Eco and Shadow of Colossus were just incredible freaking games. So they have to win us back a little bit, and what they released, it didn't win me back. So I was excited to see that they're doing something, but it's not going to be a day one for me. Like anything else, but
well, I think you need to see more probably too.
Yeah.
It was enough to definitely get me excited just because of how much fun I've had playing their games.
Yeah, different pages on that, I think.
Yeah. Outer Worlds 2, did you play the first one?
Nope.
Okay, Outer Worlds 2, which is done by Obsidian, who did Fallout New Vegas. I think they even made a funny jab at it because the whole trailer had humor strewn throughout it. So Outer Worlds 2, the first one was really, really good, but it was pretty short. It was more like a BioShock kind of experience. We were expecting like a Fallout open world.
Oh, that's the kind of funny one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Sci-fi.
It feels like Borderlands a little bit.
Outer space. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of like Fallout mixed with Borderlands humor kind of ish. Yeah.
Because their trailer was essentially, we listened to you and we know what you want and we're giving it to you.
Yeah, I have the quote. During the trailer it says, a game that took us 3 times as long to make and is certain to be twice as good was one of their quotes for Outer Worlds 2. So I'm excited for that one because I really, really like the first one. So that's exciting to see. Hazelight, which is the company that makes It Takes Two.
Oh.
So they announced a new co-op game. We still haven't finished It Takes Two.
Yeah, we got to do that.
We've done enough of it to get it.
I just need a new headset so that I can...
Yeah. Anyway, they announced their next game is called Split Fiction, which is really interesting because they're like 2 authors that one writes fantasy stories and one writes sci-fi stories. And you're playing through these levels of things that they've written. So you're bouncing to all these different kinds of worlds that exist in like their fiction. So the whole basis of it sounds really, really interesting to me.
This is awesome. I am so excited for this. I think that this is like exactly... And you don't really watch anime, right? Right now, like one of the most popular anime of 2024 is Dandadan. And it's about a girl that believes in ghosts and a guy that believes in aliens, and they try to prove it to each other that they exist. Cool. So this kind of has that same feeling, sci-fi versus fantasy, and I love that. I am a fantasy girly, but I have a lot of sci-fi friends, so I feel like this is like, I don't know, it's so cool. I love this concept.
I'm really excited for it too. The only setback I had with it is they dedicated like 20 seconds or so of the trailer to them like turning into inanimate objects, which I feel like could be fun every once in a while, but it seems like they stressed it a lot in the trailer that I was going to be a hammer and you were going to be a nail and we were going to run. So,
you're going to be a sausage on a grill.
Yeah, like these weird little WarioWare type of things. I have a
similar concern to that. My concern is less so they're going to be an inanimate object, but more so on the same front that it felt like a lot of mini games.
Yeah.
It takes 2. You're playing one game, but you get all these different abilities and things that you can do. So it doesn't feel like you're playing mini games. It felt like almost like mini game-esque in the trailer that they showed. But I do have really high expectations for them after It Takes Two. So it's not enough to turn me away at all by any means.
And it won Game of the Year year before last, I think.
Yeah, I think so. Right? It was like 2 years ago. Yeah.
So they showed that, and that's really exciting, especially for people that, and like you mentioned earlier about no microtransactions, and I can just buy it, and then you and I can both play it.
Boy, was he a character, huh?
Yeah, right.
He swore every 2 words.
Yeah. He's like, I am taking advantage of all the shits and fucks. They did interrupt I shouldn't say interrupt because that kind of has a negative connotation with it. They had in the middle kind of the industry layoff spotlight with that guy, and I forget his name, I don't have it written down, where he helped like video game job placement. Yeah. And he was like really, really passionate about that.
Yeah, he was adorable.
Yeah, and he had a really good speech. He got emotional during his speech.
And I got emotional during his emotional speech.
And he was truly one of those guys that, man, it's hard telling how many hours that he's shoved into this program that he has where, man, there's a bunch of spreadsheets and you can enter your name and what you've worked on in the past. So it's to kind of combat the industry layoff and apply for jobs with other companies. He kind of finds that and matches those people that feel lost and don't know what to do. And he makes like web video tutorials. I mean, he just does all this kind of stuff. You can tell he dedicates so much time with it, and they've had really, really good success, and they recognized him, which I thought was really cool.
I think it was amazing. It was the first time they presented an award like this too.
Yeah, I forget what I don't even have what the award was called. Oh, did he get an award?
It was like Positive Impact or something. Yeah. He got an award.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I thought that was really amazing because I mean, we've been talking about it all year, the changes in the industry and the downfall and the layoffs and everything happening. And this man, I mean, he didn't just talk about it. He got on and helped people. And I think that's really incredible. That's hard to do. And he was successful with it too.
And plus, just that the Game Awards recognized that part of what's going on just by having him on and having the award.
They didn't try to pretend it's not happening.
Right. So that was awesome. That was great. Love to see more positivity. This is funny. The next reveal was Borderlands 4. I have absolutely nothing written down. It just says Borderlands 4 because that's all it was.
Yeah.
There was absolutely nothing to get excited about. I mean, I love shooting and I miss that era and maybe it's really great at that. But the trailer didn't show us anything.
Yeah.
It didn't show us any of the It visually showed us the characters.
Right.
We don't know anything about the characters, even though it was long enough and like in detail enough for them to at least like have a couple voice lines or something and see some humor. They showed us some set pieces where it looks like the game will take place. Wasn't that impressive. Randy Pitchford was weird because he's always weird. It just didn't do anything for me. Yeah, that's why I have no notes taken down for Borderlands 4 because I felt it was bland and generic reveal that didn't get me excited.
Yeah, it looks to me, if I didn't play the Borderlands games, it looks like they could have just copy and pasted from another game.
Yeah.
It just didn't feel new. It didn't feel fresh. There was nothing to get excited about, like you said. And I'm a few games behind. I didn't finish the pre-sequel and I didn't play 3. But I also was not very excited. And I also read an article, I think Games Radar wrote it, that the developers want to move away from the toilet humor that's in the games, which is like what makes the games hilarious.
Oh, like Gearbox and Borderlands specifically?
Yeah.
Okay.
So they want to move away from like in Borderlands having that like really raunchy humor.
Yeah, that's why
like
it is
the game. That's why you play it.
Yeah.
It's just so stupid.
Yeah, you laugh the whole way through. You're just shooting and laughing. Yeah.
So like, what are you doing if you're getting rid of that?
Yeah.
I don't know. Because I mean, Borderlands 2 was fantastic. It was so funny. But, I mean, some of those moments, with Mordecai and Bloodwing.
Yeah. They're not only funny writers, they're really good writers.
Yeah, like, they were really great. So I'm a little concerned that they want to move away from the humor.
Yeah, that's dog shit.
Yeah.
Stupid. Dumb.
So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, it's still definitely wait and see. But if we're just, talking about the reveals, that one did nothing.
Yeah.
This is more for me. Turok Origins. Which, if you played Turok back in the day, if you like to shoot your machine gun at dinosaurs, this is a little kid.
I actually thought it was a thing for Ark at first. When I saw it. Yeah, because I was like, dinosaurs. It's a sci-fi Ark.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. Turok's been around for a long, long, long time. So we're getting a new one. The only big difference I noticed was it's in third person now, which the old games are just in first person, like a Call of Duty or something. So you can actually see this like macho boy character on the screen, at least what we saw in the trailer. So I'm excited for that. I'm a big dinosaur guy, so that's fun. They announced a new Netflix interactive Squid Game, and it looks really dumb.
Yeah.
Really dumb.
Yep.
Like, it moved. I know it's just a Netflix game, but why Squid Game? That seems weird, just because you have that property and that license.
Yeah, I don't know. We're going to find out.
I'm trying to remember what was even in it. I remember like players running away and you could throw something, kind of. Like, I was like, this is stupid.
Yeah, I think that'll flop.
So anyway, Squid Game looks dumb. Game of Thrones King's Road, which is being brought to us by Warner Brothers, who does Batman and all kinds of other credible things. They also did Lord of the Rings stuff. Warner Brothers did. So Game of Thrones. So. What did you think? You've watched Game of Thrones? No?
I never finished it, but it just
you're familiar with its popularity.
Yeah, I'm aware of how much people love Game of Thrones. I probably won't play it. It just looks like the show put into a game for me.
Yeah, it looks like Zach's jam for sure. For sure.
Yeah, the medieval. Kingdom stuff.
Throwing axes in people's heads. Yeah. I thought it looked really good. I actually am one of those people that hasn't seen the show. But just the credibility of the studio behind it, it's definitely going to sell too. So I thought it looked pretty good. It'll have good gameplay. I'm sure it'll be a huge game with huge map and all kinds of shit you can do. They're always really good at populating their map and having different quests you can do. So, and I don't know about the lore. I'm excited to see how mad people get that it's not true to the book and it's more like the show? Or
I wonder if they'll follow the book or the show more. I think if they're smart, they'll follow the book more because people that watch the show, I didn't finish it, but they really hated the ending because it veered so far away from the book or something because they caught up to the book. Yeah, is what happened. The books, whatever series.
Yeah, and then it moved back up.
Yeah, so I think if they're smart, they'll follow the books more because I think people who play video games tend to read also.
Yeah,
just a general idea. Yep. General consensus.
So yeah, that's not like a day one thing for me. I'm more excited for the message boards kind of situation where I'm just more excited to see people get mad about it. Mafia: The Old Country, which looked fantastic. Mafia series has been around for a while, and it's super popular too, and rightfully so. It always gets kind of slated as like the poor man's Grand Theft Auto kind of situation, but those games are really, really good. They have really good voice acting, really good stories. They're not as detailed as an open world map driving kind of game. Like the maps aren't as rich with detail and things you can do. But the stories are always really good, and they're always really good at taking you to whatever era that it's in, because there's no Mafia game that's set in the present,
Yeah.
I think the last one, this one is set in Italy. I think it's...
Are they set in different countries?
Yeah, like the last one was in New Orleans, I want to say.
The same country as here. I said different countries.
Yeah, well, New Orleans is here. Italy is across the pond.
I know.
Those are different countries.
I thought, no, I understand now.
Cut. Cut. Oh, yeah, they're all set in different places. I don't know about the one before Chicago or something. I don't know, but they're usually set in like the 40s, and you drive these old style cool cars.
Oh, that's kind of fun.
Feel like a pimp, and they go caps.
That makes me think of LA Noire, which is like not Mafia at all, but like kind of
that era. Yeah. So they're always really good at that. The new one looks awesome. I'm guessing we're going to get some of the roots. I don't know. I don't remember enough of the story to be able to. I feel like this might be someone's ancestor from another game, kind of situation. Yeah. Maybe. So it looks like early Mafia days, which makes sense why it's called The Old Country. So I'm excited for that. That was a really good trailer. It was mostly cinematic and really good voice acting, like we're used to. Well, the Aaron Paul thing. So that game is Dispatch. It is from the same people that worked for Telltale.
Oh.
So I was interested to hear what you thought about the game part of it. I know his monologue with who was he with? The voice actress was really cheesy.
It was weird. It was it made me a little uncomfortable.
Yeah, it was awkward. But the game...
I don't remember the game that they announced.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
okay.
Dispatch. Oh.
Yeah, it's from the Telltale people, and it doesn't look like it. It looks like the Telltale stuff has evolved because it looked like a classic cartoon animation. Like it was that smooth, what I mean? It's decision-based Telltale.
Actually, I think I will play that game.
Yeah,
I was kind of excited for that. I liked the animation. Not to cut you off, sorry, I just remembered it. I liked the animation, and I liked just like the idea of being the guy behind the computer for it.
Yeah.
I think that's like a really unique idea.
Yeah.
Really creative.
I thought it looked really cool too.
Yeah.
It's just you have to forget about the Aaron Paul thing. Of course, he voices one of the characters, but he's voiced a lot of other stuff.
And he's amazing. I mean, he's so amazing. It was just that weird monologue they had, but he's amazing.
Yeah.
So,
well, he's in BoJack.
Yes, he is. Who was he in BoJack?
He's the dude that lives with him.
Is he really? Is that him?
Yeah. What's his name?
Ted?
I haven't seen
No, it's not Ted.
You got to be in a real weird place to watch a lot of BoJack.
It's usually when I'm at my lowest, I watch BoJack to feel something. And yeah, he's an amazing actor and voice actor, so I think he'll do great.
The game looks really cool.
Yeah.
And they made it a point to say from the creators of The Wolf Among Us and The Walking Dead and Telltale Studios, here's this game.
I didn't even see that.
Even though Telltale doesn't exist.
I must have been scrolling on my phone, watching other people be upset about Witcher.
Dispatch.
I'm excited for that one.
Google it. Okami. Go right ahead. That was the one I was telling you Jeff Keighley got really emotional about. And they did like a little music open. But go ahead. I've never played it. You know way more about Okami than I do.
Oh my god. Okay. This was the most surprising, unexpected announcement that they could have made. I never in a million years...
Didn't know it was coming?
No. I never in a million years thought... And the head of the studio for Okami has been trying to get a remake, or not a remake, a sequel for years. And they've just been shutting him down. So he obviously got...
So when was the last? Sorry to cut you off. When was the last? So there's Okami and then there's Okami Den, but that's only like on
Okami
DS.
Den we don't talk about. It sucks.
Okay, so there's really only one Okami.
Yeah. So the first Okami came out in it was on the PlayStation 2. And it was so long ago.
Yeah, early 2000s.
Yeah, and I've talked about it on this podcast a million times. It's just so...
Oh my god, look at that one. Oh my god, that one's amazing. Look at this, the blue part.
Oh my god.
I'm so sorry. I probably interrupted at the worst time. That was a great bird. Those are good too.
Okay, those are great. Sulfur-crusted cockatoo. So the game is... The first game, Okami, is beautiful. It's unique, creative. The gameplay is so smooth. It's just truly one of a kind.
You get to paint a little.
Yeah, you paint a lot. That's how you play the game. That's how you fight, is you paint.
Yeah.
And it's just a truly loved game in the community. And for them to announce a sequel, it might be a day one for me.
They also made, I don't know the developers, it seems like a team of two guys, and they made it a point to say that they were there, and then they put a camera on them. Mm-hmm. So I'm guessing they were the original.
Yeah, so the original team.
Yeah.
And, they interviewed them afterwards, and some people said that trailer was so crazy, was it AI? And he called the interviewer an idiot. And he said, we would never do that, you idiot.
Yeah.
He's don't ask dumb questions. He's it's true because they put their heart and soul into that first game. And now that they got the green light for the sequel, we're going to get 1,000 times that. And I have the highest expectations out of this game.
So what did you think of the trailer?
Well, they didn't show us much. They showed me enough to know that it's coming and that it's going to probably be Amaterasu again.
That's what I thought. Yeah, I was like, well, this is the same wolf.
It looks like the same god. Yeah, wolf, fox, dog.
Good boy.
The god of the sun, Amaterasu. And I mean, even if it's not, I don't care. I'm so excited. I feel like, when girls who want to get pregnant find out they're pregnant and they're so excited. That's the feeling I got when I saw
You're
that.
Oh my god.
Finally! It finally happened. I knew God would bless me.
Oh my god.
So I couldn't be more excited for this game. And I don't care how long they take on it. I don't care if it comes out 10 years from now and that was just a little teaser they gave us. But it also was so emotional because they had the live band with the drums.
Yeah. And that's how it kind of started.
Yeah.
So how soon did you know? Because they started showing things on the back screen. Stuff started to come in. Yeah.
Once the paint started, I was like, no.
And then they put Okami with the classic logo.
Right. Once they showed possibly Amaterasu running and then the howling and stuff, that's when I was like, holy shit. But when the drums and the music didn't give it away because it's Japanese games tend to have that kind of music and I can't pick it apart.
Yeah.
Because I'm just not musically inclined. But as soon as it showed the art style, I pretty much peed my pants.
You're that's it.
It was towards the end of the award show too, so I was half asleep, ready to go to bed, and ready to be done, and that woke me right back up. So excited!
I'm so happy for you,
Thank
and
you.
A lot of people, and Jeff Keighley apparently, because he barely made it through the introduction to even start the pick. But I bet that's cool. I bet a bunch of people feel that way. It's a beloved franchise. I'm sure there's tons of people super happy. And it was a good reveal with the music and the guys being there and everything.
Yeah.
So, Okami, TBD. I got one more. I have the big last one. Was there anything I missed?
They announced Elden Ring, Night Rain, for those that love Elden Ring. Is this a DLC? I didn't even really pay attention. I don't play Elden Ring. It's not a dig on it. It's an amazing game. But another DLC for the fans. I know the fans are excited. For me, just watching it, it looked a little empty, but I don't know. I don't play games.
Who the hell are you?
Right.
What do you know?
It just I was where's the world? It's just the bosses. So I don't know. That's just me being me.
Yeah.
And then just some controversial announcement. Clive Rossfield for Tekken 8. He's Final Fantasy 16's protagonist.
Okay.
Yeah, so they're
trying to picture him. Does he have dark hair?
Yeah, he's kind of emo looking. He has the black armor with red. He's a fine character. He's not amazing. He's not memorable. I didn't really care about him, but people have been begging for Tifa to be in Tekken for years. And
so why him? It's a why.
Yeah.
Are there any other Final Fantasy characters that have made that crossover? No?
I don't know, actually. I don't really play Tekken, so I just know that I saw a lot of discourse online that was like, why him? He's not really a fighter either. He's like a medieval guy with a sword. Yeah. So it's like kind of doesn't feel right. It looked good. I mean, the preview
He's from
looked fine.
16? Is that the most recent game?
Yeah. Yeah, other than like the Rebirth.
Well, that's probably why then.
Yeah, so people were just kind of like, why wouldn't you put Tifa in there? She's the fighter. She's got the fists. She's the fighter.
Why wouldn't you put, yeah, especially her, but why not just anybody else?
Right. He was such a random ad, and Final Fantasy 16 wasn't like a huge sell for them. No. Like they didn't make a ton of profit off of it. So it's kind of surprising. Maybe they're trying to get more sales by putting him in there. Maybe it's like, I don't know. Tifa would have been a better pick, but that was the only other announcement that caught my eye. I don't play Tekken. I was just kind of like, oh, that's interesting.
Yeah. Okay. And then they smashed it right at the end because nobody saw it coming. New Naughty Dog game called Intergalactic. And that trailer, what did you think of the trailer? The trailer was insane. Like, it was like watching Pixar. And it was so slow. Like, I loved it. I can see on your face you already didn't love it.
Yeah.
That game's going to have a kick-ass soundtrack, too.
Oh, yeah.
It's like set in the 80s and everything. It looked so cool. I like that they just took a moment. It was almost like it was Tarantino-ish. Like, they just took this random conversation about nothing. I don't even remember what it was about, to be honest. I think they summed it up by talking about where they were going or where they were heading. But just all the little movements and the just steady, just random conversation. Like I said, it's kind of like Tarantino. Like they just pulled this moment, and you could already get a feel for the characters.
Yeah,
and you can already tell that chick is as cool as a cucumber because they were going into whatever, and she is so calm during that whole entire trailer leading up, and then it kind of builds the music up, and then they shoot towards like a galaxy. I don't even know where they're going. I thought it was fucking great. And plus, just knowing a new IP from Naughty Dog.
Oh, yeah.
And they do not miss. They make some of the best games in the history of games.
Naughty Dog always.
I thought it was an awesome reveal. I don't know what other people have even said, really, I guess, but I thought it was awesome. You didn't think it was awesome, so let's hear why you didn't think it was awesome.
I just felt like they really wanted to show off their amazing graphics. And I already know that Naughty Dog always pushes the envelope with that. They always push the limits. They always over-deliver on graphics. I know it's going to have good graphics. I want to see what else they're going to give me. So, like, I'm not disappointed to see that. I just feel like, yeah, I know you're going to have amazing graphics.
Did you want to see gameplay? I mean, there were a lot of games we didn't see gameplay. I wanted to see
more about the story, the world they're presenting. I just wanted more of anything. I wasn't disappointed in it. It just didn't get me buzzed like a lot of other stuff would. I just already know they're going to have amazing graphics. They have ever since Uncharted, the first one.
Yeah,
I've always known.
I think they just wanted us to get a taste and get to know that chick a little bit because that's who we're going to spend time with.
Yeah,
and that's what they wanted us to see. I thought it was awesome. It wasn't traditional.
It's going to be phenomenal. Did you read what the game is about?
Tell our listeners what the game is about.
So I read briefly. I didn't read the whole article, but I guess it's about like because it's called the Heretic Prophet, and I guess it's about like following a like false religion or some sort of made up religion. I don't know if that means made up in the game or if they're being deceived in the game. I'm not sure, but I guess it's going to be about like some sort of fake religion and like almost like cult like, but in space. So there's a lot going on there.
Didn't get any of that in the trailer, I guess.
No. So I mean, there's a lot going on there, like cult in space. That's a lot to throw at us. But like you said, Naughty Dog never misses. I'm really excited. Again, tons of discourse about the protagonist not being hot.
Yeah. Bald. What are we going to do?
Without hair.
What are we going to do?
I mean, whatever.
Seems like a badass to me. I was intrigued. I was intrigued. I want to get to know her more. I can't wait to see how the story unfolds. Naughty Dog's never had something that wasn't.
Yeah, it's going to be amazing.
Outer space. I mean, that's a new. Yeah.
Yeah, I already know that they're going to over deliver on graphics. I just wanted more.
Unless Crash Bandicoot just go to outer space, they might have already dabbled in this. It was the perfect way to end it. No one saw it coming.
Yeah.
Plus,
they've been working on it in secret for years since like 2020. I think they said.
Did you see anything about like a team split? Because Last of Us 3 has to keep up with the TV show and all that. So we've got this big Naughty Dog reveal, and it's not The Last of Us 3.
Yeah, they have to.
So where is that? We'll see.
Yeah, super excited for it, though.
Yeah, overall, I thought the reveals were really, really good.
Yeah. What are you most excited for?
Either Intergalactic or... probably Intergalactic. I mean, I said it first. I don't know.
Heard it here first, folks.
Not Borderlands.
Yeah, no.
Not Borderlands. They didn't even show Claptrap, I don't think. Was Claptrap
They did very briefly. Very briefly, they showed him.
I'm excited for Mafia a lot. Like, I would play that in its release window, probably. Outer Worlds 2, I was definitely excited for. Yeah, the oh wow, the oh shit was Intergalactic for sure.
Yeah, that's going to be...
It didn't happen again. I'm happy for the Okami people.
That's me.
You included.
Yeah, that might be a release game for me. That might be...
Oh, hell yeah.
Oh,
Pre-order that shit.
I might do it. I might do it.
Overall, really, really good. This is a long one. One more break. We're going to come back with some of our personal favorite things and games and stuffs of the year. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Thank you to BetterHelp for sponsoring this episode. BetterHelp is the world's largest therapy service, and it's 100% online. With BetterHelp, you can tap into a network of over 25,000 licensed and experienced therapists who can help you with a wide range of issues. To get started, you just answer a few questions about your needs and preferences in therapy. That way, BetterHelp can match you with the right therapist from their network. Then you can talk to your therapist however you feel comfortable, whether it's via text, chat, phone, or video call. You can message your therapist at any time and schedule live sessions when it's convenient for you. If your therapist isn't the right fit for any reason, you can switch to a new therapist at no additional charge. With BetterHelp, you get the same professionalism and quality you expect from in-office therapy, but with a therapist who is custom-picked for you, more scheduling flexibility, and at a more affordable price. Get 10% off your first month at betterhelp.com/thebarn. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/thebarn.
Alyssa's going to bring us in from break.
Hey, welcome back from break.
Here we are, and we are doing the 2024 year-end wrap. And to close it out tonight, let's just talk about some of our favorite things of the year. Well, how was your year? Was it pretty good?
It went by pretty quickly. I feel like I worked a lot.
Yeah.
I feel like my year was just taken up with work, which kind of sucks, but I do like my job, but it was just a lot of work.
Didn't you get engaged this year?
That was last year.
Okay, that was last year.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Kind of same for me. It was just your standard. It was a lot like the year before it. 2023 and 2024 were very similar. Maybe that's just the getting old part of it.
We're aging.
It was okay. As far as video games, I played a bunch of awesome ones. Do you want to talk about some of our favorite video games first, I guess?
Yeah.
Okay. When I think of this year, I go back to hanging out at your place, actually. Remember, I was playing Persona 3 Reload.
And was that this year?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that came out this year.
What was I playing? Baldur's Gate?
Yeah, I think so. It was like late winter, I want to say. Maybe it was March or something. I forget when Persona came out, because I got that like right away.
That was such a good day.
I really loved that game. That remake came out this year. You really loved Baldur's Gate, so that seemed like a time to remember in 2024.
Yeah.
Because we both love those games. Boy, you played Baldur's Gate all year, pretty much.
I just beat it.
Finally, there is a conclusion.
There is a conclusion. I got a really good ending, too. I won't spoil it for anybody, but I got a really good ending, which is so surprising because I slaughtered everything in that game. Like,
yeah, you're really aggressive.
Passive. Yeah. So, that was actually going to be the game that I talked about for my year.
Okay. Well, go ahead. So that's good. Well, it's got to be one of your like favorite games of all time, probably.
It was just so well done. I feel like this game is ahead of its time. It just there's over 15,000 endings you can get just based off all the decisions you make, and it's just incredible. Just everything that went into this game, the voice acting, just so many different experiences you can have in every small piece of the game. I mean, every minor section of the game. I mean, I completely missed quests.
Yeah. Well, and exploring that through your friends, too.
Yeah.
Because you had, 2 different friends? I think Zach started late. But you had 2 different friends playing at the same time, and you guys could talk about, well, this didn't happen to me at all. I didn't even go to that area. I snuck around and did this because my character can do this. So I think that made that experience even better for you, is that you were playing it simultaneously with close friends.
Yeah, and it got me into Dungeons and Dragons too, because now I'm doing my first campaign ever with my friends, and because of that game, I have a very base understanding of how to play Dungeons and Dragons. I obviously still had to learn a lot. There's a lot that the game simplifies for you. But it really got me into that whole world. And it is a Dungeons and Dragons game. Like the Faerun and stuff is in Dungeons and Dragons, the characters and races and everything. Yeah. It's so cool.
Rolling the die. Yeah. So it was also, and we've talked about a ton on the podcast, of having a new original experience with something that's also a masterpiece.
Yeah.
Sits with you forever and kind of amplifies all that, because that's the first time you've done the Dungeons and Dragons style.
Yeah.
Baldur's Gate 4 probably won't impact you in quite the same way.
They're not doing a Baldur's Gate 4.
Oh, okay. They announced committed to it forever? How do you commit to infinity? We're never doing it.
That's what they said. They said they're done with Baldur's Gate. They're moving into something completely new. So that makes me sad. But also, this game has so much replayability. You can just go back and have a totally new experience every time.
Yeah, well, whatever they do will probably be similar. So it'll just be different world, different character, and that's perfect for you, probably.
Right. It's truly one of the best games I've ever played. I mean, objectively, one of the best games ever made. I mean, remember last year, Game Awards, they won, they walked away with almost every award. It was no surprise that they got Game of the Year.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good one. Yeah. Like I said, it's probably one of your favorite games of all time.
Yeah.
So
and there were certainly aspects I did not enjoy. But overall, objectively, it's just one of the best games ever made.
Does it track your time played?
Yeah.
So would you finish that? Or have you looked at your finish?
I was about 200 hours, I think.
Oh, okay.
And I only did one playthrough.
Seems like more, because you played it for so long.
Right. But I also took a 4-month break when I couldn't beat Orin or whatever her name was. So yeah, because Zach actually bought me that game Christmas last year. So it was Christmas Day, I got Baldur's Gate, and I started playing it early January because I played Alan Wake 2 first, which is my other one on the list. And it was
professional phone dropper over here.
Professional. I started it early January, and it literally brought me through the whole year.
Yeah,
so
because you just finished it a couple weeks ago.
Yeah. So, and now it's December something 20th. I don't know.
Yeah, that's crazy. I didn't even finish Persona.
That's on my list. It's on my Christmas list.
Oh, yeah. Nice.
Persona, Metaphor, God of War, Ragnarok.
You still haven't played that either?
No, I haven't. It was on sale on Black Friday, but there was other better sales. So
What'd you buy on Black Friday?
I got Control. It was $5.
Oh, yeah. And The Witcher.
Yep, and The Witcher.
You're gonna love Control.
I stared playing it. I really like it. It's really hard.
Really?
Yeah, I'm struggling with it.
I didn't get that vibe.
I don't know. Maybe I'm just bad at it.
Is it the... It's almost like shooting, like your telekinesis.
Yeah, I just got the telekinesis thing, the first one. Yeah, so okay. I'm very much in the beginning.
Do you like how weird it is?
I love it because it's in the same world.
Shifting building situation.
It's in the same world as Alan Wake. So a lot of it is very familiar in the way that they tell the story and and they actually reference Alan Wake a little bit and a couple other really funny, goofy things. So I'm really enjoying it. I just need to get good, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't get that vibe. You'll get good. You probably just haven't played it enough.
Yeah.
Other than that, it was a good year for sports, I thought. I know you have a lot of input. How many sports games did you play this year?
Play sports games? None. I can't even, not even a silly one.
Still not even a silly one.
I don't know.
I didn't play skateboard this year. It's borderline. It was a good sports year, though. MLB The Show was awesome. And more importantly, we got the first college football game in 15 years or whatever it's been. That was a huge deal. The game was really, really good. A lot of good customization. Gameplay was fun. The online community had a blast with it. Ran great. Had a real good online structure. So shout out to EA Sports College Football 25 for bringing that back. I'm glad they did. And I played it quite a bit. That was like my summer when I wasn't playing a ton, but what I did was I played college football. What say you?
What say me? I just mentioned it. Alan Wake 2 is my top game of the year.
Oh, really?
I mean, Baldur's Gate 3 is really close.
Above Baldur's Gate.
It is above Baldur's Gate. I
believe you. How long is it? Is it like 30-ish hours maybe?
It was not long. It was maybe 20 hours. It was really short. But that's good because they didn't need more to tell the story. I don't need every game to be 300 plus hours. I really don't. I
thought the second character, which was what, FBI or just police?
Yeah.
I thought that was going to turn you off.
Kind of. It's like it's the control, the bureau of whatever.
Okay. Fictitious stuff. Whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. So
I thought that half of the game, is it half?
It kind of, you switch back and forth.
Yeah, but does that, it's a female, right?
Yeah.
Does she get like 50% of the playtime?
Yeah.
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 See, I thought that part was going to turn you up, but I guess it didn't.
Yeah, I actually really liked it because the way they set it up for her story was that it was kind of like you solve true crime. You have like your little board with the red yarn between the pictures and you like kind of solve the mystery that's going on.
That sounds cool.
Yeah, and it's kind of separate from Alan Wake's shitstorm that he's got going on.
Yeah.
So what you're solving doesn't really impact his story. So I really liked it because I'm a big true crime girly. So it really got me into that detective mindset. Yeah. And so it was really fun. It was a different approach. A lot of people didn't enjoy it because they just wanted the supernatural. And she experiences the supernatural for sure. But I liked it.
And then you still get your Alan Wake.
Yeah. I mean, his story was, they were so different. His is more supernatural, avoid the ghouls and ghosts and stuff. And hers is more get the baddies.
Can you shoot people with her?
Yeah. And it is limited ammo, kind of like, what is it, Resident Evil style, you know?
Or The Last of Us.
Yeah, so very survival horror. There was a couple times where I was just running because I had no ammo. I was running away. But the story is amazing. The map is amazing. Graphics are beautiful. The soundtrack is top fucking notch. I listened to the soundtrack.
Is it spooky or is it on theme and like rock and roll?
It's like rock and roll spooky.
Rock and roll spooky.
Yes, and what's Gods of Asgard is the band that plays in it, and it's phenomenal. I want a shirt with their logo and shit. It's so good.
It seems like maybe I played one of the songs in an episode, actually.
I think you did when we talked about Alan Wake 2. So that was my top game with very extremely close second, Baldur's Gate 3. I would say objectively, Baldur's Gate 3 is a better game, but I enjoyed Alan Wake 2 more.
Okay.
And I would play it again and again.
Is it better than the first one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the first one was amazing, but by today's standards, better graphics, better gameplay, more immersive, deeper story. They answer a lot of unanswered questions. A little of the DLC from the first game got murky because of the second game. I don't care.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. They brought back old characters. They just made everything better.
I don't feel like it was nominated for anything.
Alan Wake 2 got a ton of nominations last year. Yeah, because it was last year's
release. Right.
Okay. Yeah. Because that was one, Zach also got me Alan Wake 2 for Christmas. He gets me games every year.
Yeah. And you're always behind. Yeah.
Yeah, so last year I think it won Best Soundtrack, maybe. It won a few, or at least it was nominated for a few, so...
Okay.
Do you have any other games?
Rogue Legacy 2 came out this year.
Oh, yeah.
Huge fan of the first one. Yeah, I beat it twice. But the thing is, with that game, you beat it like 6-7 times. You get New Game Plus 2, plus 3. And the enemies level up and get bigger and badder and harder. It was really good. New powers, new characters, new lineage. You can do some new stuff with it. So I just wanted to mention that one real quick. Another mention is I played a good chunk of Fallout 4 this year because the show came out and then they did the big next-gen update on the game like at the same time. So I played the shit out of that it was probably more than a month. I bet I played a bunch of it for 2 months, like almost every day.
Every time I came over, you had it up.
Yeah, that was probably the stretch of the year where I played the most games, consecutively, consistently, was when I was playing Fallout. And I've already played it, and it's not my favorite one, but it was really fun to go back because you're like piggybacking off the TV show. So I played a bunch of Fallout. We're kind of getting into now. Do you have any? Or I am.
Now, I mean, I played a really good horror game, Layers of Fear. We talked about that on the podcast. Yeah. That was great. That was a game that just kept giving. They give you free DLC if you get the game. And you just get all these stories, and it's terrifying and scary, and I loved it. I started Black Myth Wukong, which obviously was nominated. That was one that was almost a day one for me.
Yeah.
Day one, year one, which is a big deal for me still.
And it was just, you probably stopped just because of how hard it is.
Yeah, so I do love difficult games. I like Ninja Gaiden 2, I really loved. But the problem is hard games are harder when you work. Yeah. So it's like I spend 4 hours on a boss. I feel like I wasted so much time. The game is amazing. This was one that was announced last year at the Game Awards, and I was ecstatic because I love Chinese mythology.
Yeah, it's such a cool concept.
And they have like a lot of the gods in it are like, I'm very into Taoism. They have a lot of Taoist gods in it, and you just don't see that in any sort of media. You don't see Taoism, you see a lot of Buddhism, and a lot of really accurate depictions of like the Monkey King, because I mean this is their culture, and it came out of China. So it was just really incredible to play a few hours of a game that is so true to the culture and their mythology and beliefs, and I'm really excited to dive more into it. I just need to get better.
Yeah, you should keep playing it.
Yeah, and the battle system is incredible. It's really smooth. The level up system is really cool. The enemies are really cool. They're based off of real English word, like entities, like spirits, and in their mythologies, and you can like the how do you say it? Bestiary? Bestiary? I don't know.
I thought you were saying bestiality. That's how you were starting to pronounce it.
No. Bestiary. Not the Monkey King like that.
Bestiary. It has a good bestiary? Like,
really good.
Like Kingdom Hearts has really good bestiary.
Yeah.
You can look at all the enemies.
Yeah, really good bestiary because it has like not just what they are, but their cultural significance. Their true like mythology. So I'm really enjoying that game. I just need to get good, really. When I take the time and try multiple times on a boss, it just takes me a few times.
Yeah.
It's hard being in a
I want to play it. Do you just have it digital?
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, just digital. But it is really good. And I'm playing it in Chinese, which made me realize
yeah, you told me that.
I don't know Chinese.
You don't know as well as that? You thought you catch one word.
Yeah, I'm like, oh my gosh, you said meat. So, really incredible game. They deserved all the nominations and the award that they did get. They really deserved it. And it's just so cool to see China come up in the gaming industry because you just don't hear from them.
Yeah,
and
really
they don't have a lot of gamers. They're so like work orientated that they don't have a lot of time for gaming over there.
Yeah, or they're all playing StarCraft, or is that Korea?
That's Korea.
Yeah,
they do game, but not the same way the rest of Asia and then like the West does.
Yeah.
So I think that this is really gonna pique the interest of the Chinese government, and they're gonna start kind of funding more game.
I hope industries. So. Yeah, if they can do this.
Yeah, I mean, to see them win and to see how much money Black Myth Wukong brought in, I think that their government is, because obviously it is socialist, communist-esque.
Yeah.
So they're going to fund that and try to get more of that into the States. And I think that's really cool because I want to see more of it. I want to see more like Black Myth Wukong.
Yeah.
Because I've seen enough Japanese games.
Yeah, we've seen a few.
As I have 2 of them on my list this year.
Yeah, definitely one of 2024's best stuff for sure. I'd like to mention that you were introduced to Peggle this year, even though it didn't come out this year.
This year, wasn't it? It was over the summer, right? Yep. That was when we played it for like 14 hours straight.
Yeah, it's in my recent trophies still. Well, Peggle 2
And we played a little bit recently again.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's just... Yeah, it's our
the
shit.
Game that keeps giving.
It's our shit. Yeah. Just, you can't explain it. It's just fucking...
It's like doing crack.
Yeah. It's like you're hanging on for the next... Things come so close. I don't know. It's just so riveting. So anyway, you were introduced to Peggle in 2024. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, which I almost finished.
How far did you get? You were pretty far, because I remember when I was here, you were far.
Second disc. Do we still do that? I don't know.
You were far when I was.
I was pretty far. I was probably two-thirds
of the way. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Yeah, I had experienced minigame mayhem and all that stuff. So
I'm stuck on a minigame again. It's never ending. But I love the game. It's just if it didn't have minigames, I think it would be so much better.
It's still beautiful. I love the fact that you get out of Midgard a little bit, see some greenery.
Oh my gosh, the environment is gorgeous. Yeah. And the graphics and the voice acting.
Yeah. Chocobos.
Amazing.
The chocobos.
And did you get to Cosmo Canyon? Did you get that far?
I think. Well, the name sounds familiar. What's it?
It's like it's the one where the chocobos can fly.
Oh yeah.
And they're blue.
Yeah. There's fucking blue ones.
They're fucking blue.
You know how revolutionary that is?
They got the ponytails for like aerodynamics.
Yeah.
Like,
they're the fast boys.
That's where I am now. And I love those blue
Just stay
boys.
there.
Yeah.
Stay there for
I don't love Cosmo Canyon, but I love the chocobos. And I love the little chocobos and the choco stops. Yeah. Because I scritch them.
Yeah, the little.
I always pat their hat.
Quinn!
Quinn! And they're like,
yeah. Good stuff. What I'm playing now, I guess to finish up with this, because this might be, I'm playing Dragon Age Veilguard, and it might be my game of this year. It might be my number one. I'm not done with it yet. I did pick it back up after kind of laying off for a while, like we talked about from when we hung out, but it's just so good. Like, I just love playing it so much. I can't wait to find the next thing and do the next quest.
Anything.
Yeah, I guess because it's probably not different enough from its predecessors or something like that.
DLC,
you know what I mean?
I mean, DLC got nominated for so much.
But it's another one of those games that's like crack. Like, you can't stop playing because there's always one more thing, or you got to assign one more skill point, or level up one more companion, or there's always one more thing to do. And it's so badass. Fucking magic. I love magic, man. I like that I love that there's different kinds of it. I love that it can damage over time. Like, I love all those variations, and it does such a good job at all that. So, like I said, I'm not finished with it yet. I don't know the conclusion. I'm attached to some characters. I want to see how things work out, but it's definitely what I've sunk into the most this year for sure is Dragon Age.
Heck yeah.
Dragon Age for sure. And you're playing
mostly
now. Rebirth and Witcher.
Witcher 3, but obviously I have the issue with my system. I mean, it's just terrifying when it happens, because it doesn't like shut down where it's like system shutting down. No. So what happened the first time it happened, I just had it paused, because a lot of times when I game, I like interchange gaming with like cleaning. So I'll pause it, clean a little, go back and do a quest. And I had it paused, and I came back and my system was off. And when I was pressing the button to turn it on, it wouldn't turn on. So I just like unplugged the power strip, left it for a while, replugged it back in, and then it worked. And then it happened again when I was playing it. It like I paused it, but it was only for a couple seconds, and then it just literally it just shuts off. It doesn't say
it's only down. When you pause it.
So far for me, yes. So it's only when I pause.
So it's not set to a time, like it shuts off at about every hour. It's not like that.
It's been about an hour with the pause, is what I've noticed. But
I just never pause it.
Right. So every time I pause it to do anything, I just close out the game. But people on Reddit are saying that after about an hour playing,
just go to the map instead or something.
Well, that's fine.
Or is that the same thing?
On Reddit, people are saying it either way, like in the middle of a quest, it's happening to them. So it might just be a time thing. It's just that I don't play for an hour straight.
Well, if people are talking about it, it'll probably get fixed eventually.
Right, because it's like a common enough issue.
Yeah, it's just weird because I played that same version.
And it's terrifying because like the third time it happened to me, my system wouldn't turn back on for like 30 minutes. And I actually thought that it trashed my system. And I got really scared because I put like so many hours into Rebirth. And like, luckily I beat Baldur's Gate 3, or I'd probably
never playing The Witcher again.
Right. So hopefully they do an update or just like port it to PlayStation 5 or something, like an update that I can do. But as of right now, I just don't play it for more than an hour at a time. I am enjoying it, and I'm willing to make those sacrifices.
Fuck. That's in the TV show.
It is.
Somewhere. Well, I think it's in
the first episode.
It's in the game quite a bit too. I'm pretty sure. Fuck. Love Geralt.
Yeah.
Well, if you're a Witcher, you get like your emotions stripped from you. Sucks.
Yeah.
Other favorite things. So my favorite TV show, Fallout, obviously, as far as ones that came out this year.
Yeah, good one.
Just so good. I also watched Lost for the first time this year, and I know you did too.
Yes.
So that was I loved Lost.
Good.
What a journey. Why did I wait 20 years to watch it?
I for real, everybody talked about it. I thought it was just overrated, but then I watched it and I was like, this is actually good shit.
Yeah, it's totally legit.
Loved it.
Best thing J.J. Abrams has ever done. So that was really good. I don't know. Survivor was okay. I guess we got 2 seasons of Survivor. I'm a big Survivor fan. This season that just ended was definitely better than the season that aired in the spring.
Zach and I are on season 9. Well, we watched season 2, 3, 4, and then Hulu got rid of a bunch, so we had to jump to 9.
Oh, okay. There's a gap.
Yeah.
Well, you're starting to get in. Like I said, it's really good in like the
and
teens,
you don't have to
12,
watch it in
13.
order.
Yeah, no. The game does evolve over time.
Yeah.
So what about TV shows for you? I'm thinking if something else stands out, but I feel like
that was the big one for sure.
Yeah, Fallout, and then we watched Lost for some reason. Yeah. And there's so many seasons that took up like 2 months of my life. So
I mean, as far as anime, we've been watching Dan. We're very
Dan.
That's the opening.
Is that the theme song?
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
It's been a very, very, very popular manga for years, and they just adapted it to an anime. And I've never read the manga, but amazing anime. We're very few episodes behind, but that's the one I was talking about earlier, where the girl believes in ghosts and the guy believes in aliens.
Yeah.
And it's just so fucking unhinged. It's just like,
what did you say this already? Is this the first season of it?
Yeah.
Okay, so it debuted this year.
Yeah. Got it. A manga's been out for a while, but anime just started.
Got it.
Beautiful animation. Really well done. Great voice acting. We're watching it in Japanese. I'm just loving it. It's so good. It's hilarious too.
What's it stream on?
We're watching it on Crunchyroll, but it is on Netflix too.
Okay.
I think it just releases a little later on Netflix. Really good. Just so left field. Just like some of the, it's so inappropriate. It's so funny.
That's why you love it.
It's actually very controversial because the first episode, there's a scene that's so weird and fucked up that a lot of people stopped watching it. And everybody that read the manga warned us. And they were just watch past the first episode, please. It gets better. And
it happens in the first episode?
Yeah, it's super weird and sexually gross. But it's kind of hilarious, too.
Can you just tell us what happens?
Okay, so she gets abducted by aliens. So she's the one that believes in ghosts. She gets abducted by aliens. And they want to impregnate her. So they whip out their dicks. And they're these prong metal things, these clasps. Kind of like when you go to the... what's it called? The vagina doctor.
Gynecologist.
Gynecologist.
Don't ask me. I don't know.
Well, you knew.
I knew.
The gynecologist, and they whip out the car jack that whips
prise it open.
Yeah, they prise it open. It looks like that, but it's 3-prong, and it's just it just shows them with their big old fucking huge prong dick, and they're about to rape her. They don't, spoiler alert, but it's really fucked up because she's chained to this bed thing, this doctor procedure thing, and they're also really creepy looking because they're dressed up as humans, but they don't understand what humans look like, so they look really creepy. And they just got their dicks out, and she's all chained up, in her underwear, ready to get molested by these guys.
That's weird. So they look like humans, or they have 2 arms and 2 legs?
Yeah, initially, and then they take off their masks and they're really alien. Okay. But they essentially are. They're we want your bananas. It's super weird. And then at the same time, the guy who believes in aliens is being chased by a demon, and she's this horny witch demon. She's I'm gonna suck your teats, boy. And she's licking her lips and chasing him. And she steals his balls. And
his balls? Yeah. Does she keep him in a little pouch to carry him around?
No, she just takes them. So the whole show is super unhinged, but the first episode, a lot of people couldn't get through it because it's so fucked up. Yeah. But it's so worth it. And the grandma is me and Zach were watching it, and the grandma is really hot. She's super sexy. And me and Zach were why did they make the grandma so hot? It's so confusing. So watch it. Dan.
Yeah, sounds crazy.
Some people call it Dan. Nobody knows the correct pronunciation. People do. I don't.
It's whatever the show creators call it. I would assume.
I call it Dan because when the opening happens, they're Dan. So
it seems like what it would be called then.
Right. So either
that's wild though. That's interesting.
It is.
I kind of want to watch it.
Yes, highly recommend. We can watch it today.
We can watch it right now.
I've showed so many people the first episode of this anime.
It's catchy.
But it's IGN voted best anime of the year was another anime I watched, which was Free Run.
I think I've heard
Journey's
of that.
End.
Yeah.
Phenomenal. So Free Run Journey's End it feels in the beginning almost like slice of life. It's the post-hero's journey. So they won. They beat the Demon King, and it was a D&D campaign, so you have all the mage and the warrior and everything. Yeah. But the mage is an elf, so she outlives her party. And she has to deal with the fact that her friends are old and dying. and it's really emotional. It is. So it's really emotional, and her dealing with the fact that like her friends, she's going to very much by hundreds of years outlive them, and she has to cope with that. And it's really, really beautiful. Beautiful animation, beautiful story. And they got renewed for season 2.
Nice.
I just finished the season 1 and I liked it a lot.
Nice. So good year in anime for...
Yeah, really good year in
2024.
Anime. What else have I been watching? Death Parade didn't come out this year, but I am enjoying it. A lot of good anime this year.
I don't watch movies, but you said you wanted to talk about one.
Wild Robot. I saw that in theaters and I sobbed out loud.
Yeah, I do know what Wild Robot is, but I have not seen it. Tell us all about it.
It's like a robot and like a duck, I think. And he just like this robot. Basically, it's like the future, kind of like WALL-E-esque, but the robot gets shipped to the wrong place and ends up in like the forest and like learns how to live with animals and nature and kind of has to like live with them and kind of takes like this duck under his wing and teaches him how to fly. And it's just like the story of a robot and a bird. And when I tell you that I cried,
sobbed.
I mean, like I was like, like it was like a gross sobbing in the theater. I was trying not to be loud because there's other people watching the movie, but this was because I just see every bird I see on screen is Laszlo. So when I see this bird learning how to fly, I'm like,
Laszlo, no.
Yeah. It's a complete breath of fresh air. I feel like in a day and age of movies that are sequels, prequels, and remakes, it's completely new. It's a children's film, but adult content, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So it's like for children, but as an adult, you're going to understand
like
it more.
SpongeBob. Yeah.
Yeah. But a little deeper.
Yeah, for sure.
More about life and purpose. And it really does touch on that, like finding your purpose in the world and life and meaning of life and just how horrible life is.
Life can be. Did you ever watch Marcel the Shell Shoots On?
No, I still need to watch
I don't know if that movie came out this year. It might be borderline. But I watched it this year, and that was, if I have a movie, that'd be mine.
Yeah,
Marcel the Shell with
you
Shoes
love
On.
that. I
love
need to watch
it so
that.
much. It's the cutest thing ever. And it's really emotional. Like, it hits all your check boxes for Alyssa. Just boom, 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 Marcel.
I love to cry.
So, I watched it early in the year, but I'm pretty sure I watched it in 2024.
I still need to
It's
watch
newish,
that one.
though.
You always say I don't watch anything you suggest, but I watched all of Lost, so you can't say that anymore.
I think you haven't watched anything I've suggested since I mentioned that you don't watch anything I suggest. I think it just started, you're like, maybe I haven't. Maybe he does know a thing or two.
Well, Zach's in the same boat because I don't watch anything he suggested there. So.
Well, just watch and do what makes you happy. Any other favorite things? Favorite food of 2024?
Oh, man. I feel like it's always sandwiches.
Yeah, just sandwiches. We do have a cat of the year. I got Joker this year. Yes! My little kitten. He actually just has 8-month birthday, like two days ago. So he's 8 months old. So he's definitely a 2024 baby. Lost my cat last year. Everybody knows I'm a huge cat person and attached to my one cat that I keep at a time. So we got a new one. And that's exciting. And
he's so good.
I love him so much. The much anticipated bird of the year. Who's the bird of the year for Birds and Swords?
Bird of the year?
Bird
Laszlo.
of the year? It's Laszlo wins again.
He wins every year since last year.
So back-to-back champion. Back-to-back champion. You got him. When did you get him? Last year?
Yeah, last year around like summertime. It was after Merlin passed, so it was like summertime.
It was an appropriate amount of time after Merlin passed.
Yeah, and he's my little dick. I just love that little asshole so much. I was just telling Micah this morning that, because I got, we didn't talk about, okay, so I got Micah a gift. And
you're so excited.
I got Micah a gift, and I was so scared about that he would hate it, so I got a gift receipt. And this morning when I woke up, I let Laszlo out and I went to the bathroom, brushed my teeth and stuff, and I came out and Laszlo had shredded the gift receipt. And I was like, well, I hope Micah likes it now because it's just shredded. And then when I yelled at him for shredding the receipt, he flew over to my shelf of amiibos and knocked them over one by one.
Passive-aggressive little fucker.
Yeah, he knows. But that segues into Micah got me this sweatshirt.
Yeah, I did. I got her a sweatshirt, and it says "Yikes Forever." Yikes forever.
Yikes forever.
It's from Little Miss Sunshine. It's from Little Miss Fortune. which is one of our favorite games that we share. It's just too cute. And I don't know. Yeah, you've said that a couple times.
Yeah.
It's like in your vernacular.
Yeah.
Is that what you call that? Like every once in a while, you're like, yikes.
Yikes. I'm just a little lady, you know.
Just a little lady. And then I got a badass, what would you call it? Like varsity jacket? It's almost like an 80s, what it reminds me of and why I like it so much. It's almost like an 80s, like baseball warm-up jacket that they wore like on the benches and stuff. That's what it looks like to me. It's very sportsy, sports with like the varsity 2-stripe lines on the sleeves and the collar and stuff, but it's green and yellow, and it's got the Hyrule shield on the back, and it's all Zelda, and it's got the patch on the front, and it's so fucking cool. I can't believe you were worried that I wasn't gonna like it.
I couldn't tell. I was like,
you're like, I'm taking a big risk here.
Well, the reason was because the green and gold is Packers, and you're not a Packers guy.
Yeah,
so I was worried that you would kind of like connotate that,
blend in with the Wisconsinites. Who gives a shit? No, it's fucking. You did a very good job. It's awesome. I can't say that I'll like wear it all the time. I don't think you expect that. It's like a special. It's like a going out jacket, or it's almost like wearing a specific shirt instead of something.
I mean, it's a statement shirt for sure. So I don't expect you to like wear that every day.
Fits perfectly. It's awesome.
It's like shiny and bright green. So it's like says, "Look at me."
Look at how badass my jacket is. So thank you so much. Awesome.
Thank you.
We all killed the gifts. And then I got you some just random buttons.
Oh my gosh, so many Untitled Goose and Chocobo buttons.
I was looking up birds, and then I found like a subcategory of like gaming birds. And I was like, and there was like all these Untitled Goose and Chocobos and what are the Zelda ones called? Cuckoos, and something, or the songbird. So I got some little pins that you can throw on a bag or a coat or nothing. You know, I
got to figure out, because I have so many cool pins that people have gotten me, but when I used to put them on my backpack, I always kept losing them. So I got to figure out where I can put them that they're safe, because I have so many.
It's all good. It wasn't part of what I was planning on. It just kind of happened.
I love it.
There were so many cool ones.
Huge
like
fan.
when I'm eating a taco.
I like the one that's stealing the Christmas tree. Untitled Goose.
Yeah, it says "Steal Christmas," and he's just taking the Christmas tree. Hilarious. All right. Anything else for 2024? Was there anything else we were going to talk about?
I don't think so.
And that's it. That's a year. That's a wrap.
That's a wrap.
All right. That's a wrap. Epic. We're leaving that in. Thank you so much for listening to us for another year. It's been, 3 years?
Oh my God!
3 years, almost a full 3 years. We broadcast within 3 years. We appreciate that. We've had a blast talking about everything. Here's to a cheerful and hopefully positive 2025. Everybody be safe. Alyssa?
Goodbye.
Goodbye.